Hello, welcome to Oxford Heirlooms. In this video, we're going to sew the neckband to the neck hole opening. Now, this pattern comes with two options: to either line the neck with gathered lace and entree or to make collars. But I don't want to, the gown to be frilly, so I'm not doing the gathered lace. And to be real honest, tiny babies, you know, they really don't have necks, so you can't really see collars very well, or the collars kind of poke up sometimes. So what I have done, the pattern didn't come with it, but I cut a neckband strip. This neckband is 1 1/4 inches wide by 12 inches long. Now what I have done preliminarily, I have been to the ironing board and I have pressed my neckband in half. Then I folded it in half again and I put a little blue mark. Now I'm going to line up my little blue mark with the center back of the neckband, and I'm going to begin to pin this neckband onto the neck hole opening. Just go up one side at a time. Now the neckband is cut on a bias, so it will curve and ease around. Just put pins in about every 1/2 or every 3/4 of an inch. Don't try to be stingy with pins. Remember, pins are our friends. Now, like I said, the neckband will curve along the neck hole opening and lay flat without any puckers. Get up here to the shoulder seam, and then be careful that your shoulder seam is still pointing towards the back of the garment. And pin that into place. And then be careful coming down the pleats in the front and make sure that the pleats stay folded toward the armhole seam. And like I said, you know, keep putting your pins in about every 1/2 inch or every 3/4 of an inch, and ease that neckband into place. And you should have just a little bit left over when we get to the front of the garment, and it'll hang over the edge. Okay, we'll trim that down later on when we get ready to sew it on, when we get ready to hand sew it into place, but we'll leave it for the time being. Now I need to pin this other side. Like I said, just ease it into place and put a pin in. And keep it flat. Okay, this will take me a minute to get this pinned all the way around, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've got that pinned all the way around the neck hole opening, and as you can see, the neckband lays nice and flat and eases around the neck hole opening. So I'm going to use the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew this neckband into place. I'm going to begin to sew so that I don't have to go forward and backward. I'm going to begin to sew on the part of the neckband that's hanging off the front edge of the gown. And then I will use about a 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. But what I'm going to do is, my presser foot is about 1/2 of an inch wide. So I'm going to keep this left fold side lined up with the outer edge of my presser foot. Take my pins out as I come to them. Don't try to go too fast because, you know, you want to maintain your seam allowance and keep your curve nice and smooth. Okay, this will take me a minute to get all the way around the neck hole opening, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the neckband sewn on. Now what I need to do next is I need to turn the neckband facing to the inside of the neck hole opening. But I need to cut some notches along my seam about every 1/2 inch or every 3/8 of an inch, so that the batiste of the day gown will flare to the inside of the neck hole opening. So just like I said, about every 3/8 of an inch or about every 1/2 of an inch, cut a little notch without cutting your seam. And that causes the neckband to flare open. Okay, so this will take me a minute to get all these notches cut, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all my notches cut. Now I'm going to kind of start at the center back of the gown, and I'm going to begin to pin my neckband into place. Just make sure that the neckband is completely inside the day gown and it doesn't peek out over the top edge. So we'll start at the center back and we'll work our way toward the front of the day gown. Okay, now when we get close to the center front, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip my excess neck band to about 1/4 or 3/8 of an inch. Okay, let me take that pin out for a minute. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my neckband with the seam allowance toward the neckband opening, fold the neckband in like that, and then bring it down. And then that makes a nice, neat edge with no raggedy edges poking out. Let me put a pin in right there. Let me put one more pin right here. Okay, so I have one side of the neckband pinned into place, and I need to pin the other side, and I will treat the other neck hole opening just like this, like I did on this side. But I'll be right back. Okay, I've got that entire neckband pinned into place. Now I have a needle and thread, and from this right-hand side, I'm gonna go inside the facing with my needle and my knot, and I'm going to come in at the little corner so that my knot won't show on the inside of the gown, and I'm going to begin to tack this little neckband into place. Take my pins out as I come to them. Got caught on the sewing machine. There we go. Just do a couple of little tacking stitches at the very end to keep that into place. Make sure that that little neckband stays poked inside. So we have a nice, neat, smooth corner right here. Now keep your stitches about 3/16 of an inch, no more than about 1/4 of an inch. 3/16 is a good size. Okay, now if you want to do invisible stitches along this neckband, you can, but I just do little whip stitches. Take the pins out as you come to them. And we will just continue to tack this little neckband onto the inside of the neck hole opening. And then that looks nice and smooth from the outside. We'll press that in a little bit. Okay, all right, so this will take me a minute to get to the other end of the neckband, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna end this off. Okay, I've just about gotten to the end of the neck hole opening, so I'm back around to the front where the buttonhole is, and I sewed my buttonhole at the distance it was suggested, and it is below the neckband since I cut a real narrow neckband. So at the very corner, I'm going to do a couple of stitches to tack it down and keep it smooth, and then I'm going to sew back the direction that I just came with some real little stitches again, until I get to the edge of the facing, and then I'll tie my thread off. I just don't want to have a knot right at the center front of the neckband. Got 1 or 2 more little stitches to do. So when I get out to well, I'm just going to be close to the end, I guess. Do one last little stitch and do one to tack it into place. And then I will tie a little overhand knot, couple of them, I guess, to hold my thread into place. And that makes for a nice, neat finish. And since the knot leaves like some little 1/8 of an inch threads hanging out, that kind of smooths that out. Okay, so this gets the neckband on here nice and neatly. I do need to go to the ironing board and give it a little bit of a press, but the neckband is now in place. Okay, all right, so in the next video, we'll begin to work on the cuffs for the sleeves, but in this video, we were sewing the neckband to the top opening of the day gown. Thank you.